Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Alabaster broadcast. This is our Bible study, and today we're going to be going over Job chapter 29 through 31. I am really excited to see all of you guys on Instagram as well. Um, thank the Lord that it decided to cooperate with me today. So, we're going to be going over everything. Um, Today. I'm really, really excited. It's gonna be a really, really good study, and, yeah, I guess for updates for me, as far as right now is, we're still safe from the hurricane. As far as we know, we're in kind of like that last little, like, it's kind of like faded out red area, so we're gonna get some pretty heavy rain, but, nothing compared to what the West Coast is going to experience. We're still on the East Coast, so we're gonna be experiencing, a pretty heavy, I guess rainfall, and we got a flood watch warning. So, or not a flood watch, a flood warning. Apparently, there's two different two differences between flood watches and flood warnings, but we got the flood warning, meaning that it is more likely to happen. But we're staying faithful. And the only thing that I am today is really tired because I did not get a coffee this morning. I decided to try and toggle around. I'm trying to make an intro video for this live stream, but I'm not the best at making live streams. So, or not live streams, intros for live streams. So I'm just trying to test that out, but it's gonna be good. I have a good vision as far as what I would like to create. But it'll come. It'll come. When you see it on live, that means that I've completed it. But um but I think the rain is picking up a little bit in the background. I can hear from my microphones. So sorry if you're a little distracted by that. Um so, with that being said, say good morning to everyone, and making sure that I'm streaming on all platforms here. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Just wanted to make sure that I am. Alrighty. Awesome. Awesome. Alrighty, you guys. Sorry. My cat just licked my foot and I was like, what the heck? Alrighty, let's pray. Let me pull this music up. Let me pull up our first passage, and we'll go from there. Believe that's the one. Could be wrong. Yeah, I'm right. Awesome. Alrighty, everyone. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for bringing us together today to just read your word and to come to you in this time of hardship, Lord. Please be with everyone in the state of Florida as we are currently preparing for a category 6, category 5 hurricane. Lord, I ask you to please protect us, to please just allow for every single person in Florida to use their noggins in this time and to get themselves and their pets and their families out of danger, Lord, to get them to safety. I pray that you put that in everyone's mind to get out, Lord. I ask that you are over us with this Bible study today to help us learn something new that we didn't before and to help us become more like you because of it, Lord. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for us, Lord, and I ask you also to protect us spiritually. We are dealing with something different, Lord, and you know it, we know it, and only you can protect us from that. The strange gods are coming closer to us. They are touching us, Lord. They are trying to get us, and we need your help, Lord. I ask you to cancel out these strange gods of the sky, Lord, that are trying to destroy us with chaos, Lord. I ask that you protect us from these strange gods that are coming up underground, Lord, that you stop them from their destruction, Lord. And I ask that you cancel out the gods of the sea, because they are coming for Florida. They're working to create a new world order, Lord. This marine kingdom is so powerful right now, Lord. I ask that you please punish them and destroy them in the name of Jesus. Thank you for everything that you do for us. Thank you for being our strength and our fortress, and knowing that even if harm should befall us, Lord, that you have us in your hands. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and get into this Bible study. I'm going to turn off my mic and we're going to go ahead and read.
Chapter 29. Moreover, Job continued his parable and said,
"Oh, that I were as in months past, as in the days when God preserved me, when his candle shined upon my head, and when by his light I walked through darkness, as I was in the days of my youth, when the secret of God was upon my tabernacle, when the Almighty was yet with me, when my children were about me, when I washed my steps with butter, and the rock poured me out rivers of oil, when I went out to the gate through the city, when I prepared my seat in the street. The young men saw me and hid themselves, and the aged arose and stood up. The princes refrained talking and laid their hand on their mouth. The nobles held their peace, and their tongue cleaved to the roof of their mouth. When the ear heard me, then it blessed me. And when the eye saw me, it gave witness to me, because I delivered the poor that cried, and the fatherless, and him that had none to help him. The blessing of him that was ready to perish came upon me, and I caused the widow's heart to sing for joy. I put on righteousness, and it clothed me. My judgment was as a robe and a diadem. I was eyes to the blind, and feet was I to the lame. I was a father to the poor, and the cause which I knew not I searched out. And I brake the jaws of the wicked, and plucked the spoil out of his teeth. Then I said, I shall die in my nest, and I shall multiply my days as the sand. My root was spread out by the waters, and the dew lay all night upon my branch. My glory was fresh in me, and my bow was renewed in my hand. Unto me men gave ear, and waited, and kept silence at my counsel. After my words they spake not again, and my speech dropped upon them. And they waited for me as for the rain, and they opened their mouth wide as for the latter rain. If I laughed on them, they believed it not, and the light of my countenance they cast not down. I chose out their way, and sat chief, and dwelt as a king in the army, as one that comforteth the mourners.
Alrighty. So let's kind of debrief for those of you who may not have been on YouTube Live that were on Instagram Live instead. Sorry, technical difficulties. This microphone is driving me bonkers lately. But basically yesterday we went over how Job was talking about how we were talking about a lot of things. How he is no longer accepting constructive criticism from his friends, and that he has become extremely self-righteous. And we're seeing this even more today. I'm going to try to tighten it. There we go. Force it to tighten. There we go. But he's showing more of this today, where he is he's even telling his friends, I wish that I was back where I was. Everything was so perfect the way that I was before, and nothing wrong was happening to me. Nothing was befalling me at all. This was just, everything was perfect. And so it's hard because for me, like, I've gone through so much in my life too that it's like, I look back at some of the days that were good, right? But in my adult life, I often find that everything that I've been through has made me stronger, and I wouldn't change anything that I went through to get to where I am today. And that's something to be proud of, and that's something to work towards. And the fact that Job is not wanting that, he's wanting to be back months past, as in the days when God preserved me, as in verse 2. it's hard to I guess for somebody who kind of has more right now, like, if someone can't understand the position that I'm taking, I mean, a lot of people are really just self-centered today. And so, like, with this study, some people have told me, "I think that you're looking at this the wrong way. I think that Job's friends are jerks and that Job is the justified heart he's like he's brokenhearted and he needs our sympathy." And I'm like, "Listen, what happened to him was terrible, absolutely terrible, but now he's refusing to get better. It's like an addict. Like, you had something happen to you, you're not wanting to get better, and you're going back on the same unhealthy cycle." And so his friends, 2 of his friends, you'll see later on, that Eliphaz has no, I guess, restraint on how he is going to talk to, Job here soon, but I'm excited, for you guys to read that. That's gonna be in, like, verse 32, so we'll get to that tomorrow. But so that's kind of like a recap. So you're gonna see even more of Job talking and, all the way through 31 today, and then tomorrow we're gonna see Eliphaz, the young guy, lay into him a little bit and tell him what he thinks about the matter. So let's keep going on. This is just a great book so far. It's really teaching me a lot.
Chapter 30.
But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished? For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. And now am I their song. Yea, I am their byword. They abhor me. They flee far from me, and spare not to spit in my face. Because he hath loosed my cord and afflicted me, they have also let loose the bridle before me. Upon my right hand rise the youth. They push away my feet, and they raise up against me the ways of their destruction. They mar my path. They set forward my calamity. They have no helper. They came upon me as a wide breaking in of waters. In the desolation they rolled themselves upon me. Terrors are turned upon me. They pursue my soul as the wind, and my welfare passeth away as a cloud. And now my soul is poured out upon me. The days of affliction have taken hold upon me. My bones are pierced in me in the night season, and my sinews take no rest. By the great force of my disease is my garment changed. It bindeth me about as the collar of my coat. He hath cast me into the mire, and I am become like dust and ashes. I cry unto thee, and thou dost not hear me. I stand up, and thou regardest me not. Thou art become cruel to me. With thy strong hand thou opposest thyself against me. Thou liftest me up to the wind. Thou causest me to ride upon it, and dissolvest my substance. For I know that thou wilt bring me to death, and to the house appointed for all living. Howbeit he will not stretch out his hand to the grave, though they cry in his destruction. Did not I weep for him that was in trouble? Was not my soul grieved for the poor? When I looked for good, then evil came unto me. And when I waited for light, there came darkness. My bowels boiled and rested not. The days of affliction prevented me. I went mourning without the sun. I stood up and I cried in the congregation. I am a brother to dragons, and a companion to owls. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. My harp also is turned to mourning, and my organ into the voice of them that weep.
All right. I have some words to say. So, a thought popped in my mind that I only can assume was the Lord, right? And it actually applies to me in this sense, but I'm wondering if it also applies to you guys too in some way. So I'll share it. Job's cry to God in verse 20. I cry unto thee, and thou dost not hear me. I stand up, and thou regardest me not. Thou art become cruel to me. With thy strong hand thou opposest thyself against me. Thou liftest me up to the wind. Thou cast me to ride upon it, and dissolvest my substance. For I know that thou wilt bring me to death, and to the house appointed for all living. Howbeit he will not stretch out his hand to the grave, though they cry in his destruction. In his destruction. So I want to stop there. Those 5 verses, 20 through 24. I'm going to write this down too as soon as I say it. But the Lord told me, how many times have you thought that I wasn't listening to you when you have not let me respond to you? I'm writing that down. All right. How many times have you thought I haven't heard you when you haven't let me respond to you? Is the word for today. That's the word for today. It's a good word. And the reason why it applies to me was 2 days ago. 2 days ago, was not feeling my best, was running on little sleep, right? I started hearing more about the severity of this hurricane and kind of started going crazy a little bit. When I feel unprepared in any any way, shape, or form, I kind of go ballistic. And I am like trying to get prepared as quick as possible. I'm like scrambling and clustering and trying to get everything together and literally having no thought behind my anxiety, no strategy of conquering it in the time. Like if I'm in a freak out mode where I'm like, oh no, I don't have this, I don't have that, I'm unprepared, I don't know what to do, I freak out. Freak out. I've always been like that. It is like one of my biggest, like I cannot stand to be unprepared because I know that when you're unprepared, nothing good happens. So I kind of take that over the top to heart. So yesterday or 2 days ago, I was really wrestling with the Lord because and I literally like I can't even tell you how many times I went into my closet and just like bowed my face down in prayer and just sobbing, Lord, I'm so scared for everyone. I'm so scared for myself. What if something happens? Like, what are we gonna do? Um, I feel like I'm going crazy. I don't know what I don't know if we're gonna make it out. I don't know if our home's gonna be destroyed. I don't know how to pack up the cats. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, Lord. I'm 23. Well, almost 23. I don't know what to do. Like I'm so young. There's no one else who's prepared like me out here. And like I can't I'm not prepared. I'm stupid. Like I'm an idiot. I don't know how to survive. I don't know how to do anything, Lord. And so I was rambling about, totally just so so overwhelmed by my anxiety, so overwhelmed by everything going on that I didn't take a pause to listen to the Lord. I didn't take a pause. I didn't allow for him to speak back to me, right? And so I just asked him throughout the course of the day to just speak to me in whatever way I needed, right? And you know what? I'm looking at it now, and the Lord used my husband that day and yesterday as well to do that, to calm me down, to reassure me that everything was gonna be okay, that we just needed to keep watching our zone, right? That, everything was gonna be fine. So I was just praying about it, praying for everyone, continuing to be in the word. So, how many times have you like, right? Like the back to the word again. How many times have you thought, I haven't heard you when you haven't let me respond to you? And for me, I added another one onto that list, right? I I added another time where I neglected to listen to the Lord on what he was trying to communicate to me this entire time. So, I mean, I'm not perfect by any means. This is the point of that. I never claimed to be perfect either. I have I have some quirks about me. I have some flaws about me for sure. But it's in these times. And luckily, well, here's the thing, luckily too, is that I've kinda trained myself to not have a longer freak out than I need to, right? I kind of limit myself to a day. Limit myself to a day and just trust in the Lord. But what was I gonna say? Shoot, I'm, like, losing my track of thought. But oh, yes. I haven't allowed myself to, like, go I limit, like, a lot of my, I guess, freak out modes. I don't really have, like, long periods of time where I'm unhealthily, like, not listening to the Lord and not, you know, and not trusting in Him. But yes, or 2 days ago was a time where for quite a few hours, I was just not I wasn't listening. I was kinda having a human moment, a freak out moment. Um, but with that, I think that that was a really good word, and, I wanna keep reading through chapter 31, and we'll close out today, but I want you guys to write that down too. Write that down too for yourselves, because I think that the Lord is trying to definitely communicate with us something today, something that he's been trying to communicate with us for a while, and we're just not listening. We're not giving him a chance to respond. It's like if you're in a conversation with someone and you do all the talking and they can't get a word out because you won't shut your mouth. That happened to me 2 days ago. So, there's that thing. So, yeah, let's get back into that. I'm excited. That was a good word. That was a good word. I hope you guys write that down too.
Chapter 31.
I made a covenant with mine eyes. Why then should I think upon a maid? For what portion of God is there from above? And what inheritance of the Almighty from on high? Is not destruction to the wicked, and a strange punishment to the workers of iniquity? Doth not he see my ways, and count all my steps? If I have walked with vanity, or if my foot hath hasted to deceit, let me be weighed in an even balance, that God may know mine integrity. If my step hath turned out of the way, and mine heart walked after mine eyes, and if any blot hath cleaved to mine hands, then let me sow, and let another eat. Yea, let my offspring be rooted out. If mine heart have been deceived by a woman, or if I have laid wait at my neighbor's door, then let my wife grind unto another, and let others bow down upon her. For this is an heinous crime. Yea, it is an iniquity to be punished by the judges. For it is a fire that consumeth to destruction, and would root out all mine increase. If I did despise the cause of my manservant or of my maidservant when they contended with me, what then shall I do when God riseth up? And when he visiteth, what shall I answer him? Did not he that made me in the womb make him? And did not one fashion us in the womb? If I have withheld the poor from their desire, or have caused the eyes of the widow to fail, or have eaten my morsel myself alone, and the fatherless hath not eaten thereof, for from my youth he was brought up with me as with a father, and I have guided her from my mother's womb. If I have seen any perish for want of clothing, or any poor without covering, if his loins have not blessed me, and if he were not warmed with the fleece of my sheep, if I have lifted up my hand against the fatherless when I saw my help in the gate, then let mine arm fall from my shoulder blade, and mine arm be broken from the bone. For destruction from God was a terror to me, and by reason of his highness I could not endure. If I have made gold my hope, or have said to the fine gold, Thou art my confidence. If I rejoiced because my wealth was great, and because mine hand had gotten much, if I beheld the sun when it shined, or the moon walking in brightness, and my heart hath been secretly enticed, or my mouth hath kissed my hand, this also were an iniquity to be punished by the judge. For I should have denied the God that is above. If I rejoiced at the destruction of him that hated me, or lifted up myself when evil found him, neither have I suffered my mouth to sin by wishing a curse to his soul. If the men of my tabernacle said not, Oh, that we had of his flesh, we cannot be satisfied. The stranger did not lodge in the street, but I opened my doors to the traveler. If I covered my transgressions as Adam, by hiding mine iniquity in my bosom, did I fear a great multitude? Or did the contempt of families terrify me that I kept silence, and went not out of the door? Oh, that one would hear me. Behold, my desire is that the Almighty would answer me, and that mine adversary had written a book. Surely I would take it upon my shoulder, and bind it as a crown to me. I would declare unto him the number of my steps. As a prince would I go near unto him. If my land cry against me, or that the furrows likewise thereof complain, if I have eaten the fruits thereof without money, or have caused the owners thereof to lose their life, let thistles grow instead of wheat, and cockle instead of barley.
The words of Job are ended.
All right, sorry guys. I was writing down the place that we left off so that I don't forget exactly where we left off. Just gonna write that down so I know that I'm at an hour. But anyways, this was a great study. This is also my cat Archie for people who are meeting him for the first time. I don't think I've really ever shown him on here. So yeah, that's a good morning for him. He's definitely having a good morning. He is like purring so loud. But I really enjoy this study, and so we definitely heard all of the words of Job over these last 3 chapters that we've gone over. So tomorrow we're going to hear what everyone else has to say about it. And it's gonna heat up. It's gonna heat up. It's gonna become really good. Like I said before, I read a little bit ahead so that I could keep up with my own studies. Um, but I'm excited to read this word with you guys tomorrow. And we're doing good. Today we're just going to be focusing on really just staying in the word, staying joyful, and preparing for Yom Kippur, which is on Friday. I'm excited for that. And Archie is so cute. Okay, you could probably hear him purring. There's some serotonin for you. But anyways, I love you guys so much, and I appreciate you all for being here, um, as we continue on to do this Bible study. I think it was a good one today, and, remember that word that I gave you today, because that was not from me. I think that's really, really fun, um, to think about and just to allow for the Lord to bless you in that way and to continue on the journey to becoming more like him. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you all in the next live. Bye, everyone.